Hey webheads, we have some news about the next game update for Marvel Spider-Man 2. We know players have been eagerly awaiting features such as New Game Plus and audio descriptions among many more. We have been working vigilantly on these features and require more testing to ensure the quality is up to our standards. We are now targeting early 2024 for the next game update, and we'll have a feature complete list closer to its release. We've heard your feedback and will be adding some highly requested features, including the ability to change the time of day, swap tantrum colors, and replay missions, just to name a few. We can't wait to share more with you in the future. In the meantime, we appreciate your patience as our team works to finish our next update for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Thanks, Insomniac Games. I'm pretty excited about that. I really have been craving that. Because while I do really like to just replay a story from scratch without my previous upgrades, if I'm being honest, I only really like doing that like once a year. But if I have the option, I think my previous gameplay has, spoken for itself. I've already put 140 plus hours into Marvel Spider-Man 2. I've put 200 hours into Marvel Spider-Man 1 on Steam, all because of mods. And I've put nearing 120 hours of Marvel Spider-Man 1, and I believe I have a combined of Miles's game on both Steam and PlayStation to nearly 200 as well. So this is obviously a big thing for me. I am completely dedicated to constantly replaying games I already played, which has definitely done something to make it a little strange to make videos, as usually I only have time put in on games that I have likely already put a few dozen hours into. But if I had to be honest, I feel like there can be more than what they've described. Of course, they said, just to name a few, which means that implies there's more than just what they've said. So there's probably going to be more than just New Game Plus, audio descriptions, time of day, potential swaps, and mission replays. But I just want to throw it out there as something I want because I can. And if they're already planning on adding stuff, and maybe even after this next update, adding even more features, just to appease some wants, just to fill the game out even more, deservedly so, neededly so, until we eventually get that leaked Spider-Man 3. So here's my list for things that I also want them to do. I want completely interchangeable abilities. I get it's cute to have Square have its own set of abilities, and Triangle have its own set, and Circle and X and all that. But if I'm being honest, I think it's just very restrictive when all I want to do is have like all my favorite symbiote abilities, but I'm not allowed to have Symbiote Bomb and Symbiote Punch in the same loadout. And those are like my favorite too. And personally, I don't care about Symbiote Burst. I don't care about the big kind of explosion one, because it's just kind of lame to me. I don't know. It doesn't have the reach that I want, and it doesn't really have the impact that I really want in like a solo situation. And when I try and like combo the bigger dudes in the game, it's kind of a whatever move and kind of awkward. Another thing they didn't mention that we'd be getting in the update is weather. And I think that's pretty big to me because Spider-Man Miles Morales did have a weather function, and it was pretty in-depth. And I really want a bit more of that. Like, I would love the option to put fog. Like, imagine, like, full daylight, that kind of morning dawn type thing, but you could also put fog over it. I'd like that. Because there are multiple fog versions in the game, but there's none, like, at that time or at that, like, lighting setting. Crime replay is another thing that didn't get brought over from Miles Morales, which, big letdown. Personally, I would love to just repeatedly go after symbiote hordes. This is something that I've been craving ever since the first time I played the game, because whenever I would accidentally cut off one of the podcasts, I really wanted to hear it again, but I am unable to without replaying the entire game till that point, and it's sad. It's sad. I want to listen to more JJ. And I guess Danica. But JJ is where it's at. And now these next few are gonna feel weird because I feel like no one's ever brought it up. But I think Miles' 10th anniversary suit needs an upgrade because currently I think his legs are very, very thin. I get the feeling they do want to be as accurate to the comics as they could with this, but to me it feels very jarring for this kid to have stick legs. Just a little bulkier, you know? Like I've compared them with like other suits that are like, you know, skin tight, and it is devastating just how much thinner Miles' legs are in the 10th anniversary suit than any other suit in the game that isn't Spider-Verse. Another weird one is I want to disable upgrades. I want to disable gadget upgrades. I want to disable suit tech. That way I can make the game even harder after I beat it. Just if I want to challenge myself against certain characters without having to, you know, go through the entire game without unlocking stuff. And this one's one I've been craving ever since I realized that I can technically take on an infinite amount of enemies in the Mysteriums. But I really wish Peter can walk inside those Mysteriums. Like, I understand that Miles, that's his quest. But here's the fix. Allow Peter to go in after Miles has already cleared that. And this was another small one. I get that it's not exactly necessary. It's not exactly something that many people will utilize. But I really wish I can use a web line while in combat, because there's a couple of really cool perch moves. For example, there's the kickoff move, there's the axe kick, and I really want those. I really want to be able to use those moves at a whim, because sometimes I'm just fighting in a street that I can't really do much with. Like, the walls are too far apart for me to actually get like an off-the-wall attack, and I want to play with the environment more. That's really it. Yeah, webline's cool. I really like abusing webline whenever I can. Well, I think that's all of that. I think that's my wish list for potential upgrades and add-ins, for now at least. Maybe I'll come back with something else to complain about in the future. Maybe a higher difficulty I'll start pining for. Who knows?